Today in WWE 2K23, I am simulating one full year in Universe Mode, and since this is my first time playing it, the goals are to utilize the new rivalry system and see if Roman Reigns can retain one or both of the titles by the end of the year. So we got our Monday Night Raw and our SmackDown starting champions, of course headlined by the Tribal Chief Roman Reigns, and we know for the most part Roman only shows up on SmackDown, so that was our first stop. The Bloodline was featured all throughout the card. This was followed by the main event that was Brock Lesnar defeating Shanky. I already knew this Universe Mode was going off the rails, but before all of that went down, I wanted to test out the brand new rivalry system. I noticed that Sami Zayn had a match against Big E, so I decided to start an intense rivalry between them. I used the free mode option to kick this off however I wanted. In this, every option was available for me. We could disrespect, attack, distract, set up any pre-match or post-match actions, and you can select these actions for both of them, so two actions can be selected. In the end though, the superstar of the game's most momentum will be the one to have their actions selected. Again, I wanted to go big for Sami Zayn, so I selected the mutual aggression action, in which the intensity is already high, and in this they both ended up trading punches, going back and forth between each other, so by the time that the match started, they were both damaged. But the good thing is that the winner will ended up gaining a surge of momentum, which is going to help them as the rivalry continue in the weeks to come. Once we got that initial action to start off the match, Big E and Sami Zayn still gave us a great contest. Great high-flying action by Sami Zayn. In the end though, Big E was just a too much big ending, and he ended up picking up the victory against Sami Zayn. We then go into the first premium live event, and our focus is back on Roman Reigns as he's taking on Edge in a rivalry matchup for the WWE Championship. Roman Reigns did retain the championship here. At the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view, I noticed that Cody Rhodes and Dominic Mysterio was getting into a rivalry. Cody Rhodes took the win, aggravating Dominic Mysterio to the point of attacking him from behind during his celebration. But Cody saw this attack and just ended up embarrassing Dominic even more. Big W for Cody. On the main event, Ronda Rousey defeated Charlotte Flair for the Women's Championship. The big highlight of the Money in the Bank was that Gunther ended up winning the Money in the Bank briefcase. Gunther did ended up cashing in, but it was on the weekly show, and since we were going pay-per-view to pay-per-view, we missed it. Nonetheless, Roman Reigns did went on to continue as champion for the next pay-per-view, SummerSlam, Clash of the Castle, and Survivor Series. At this event, Roman Reigns took a loss to Finn Balor. Unfortunately for Finn, it wasn't a title match. And for the main event, I was excited to see this. We did got a War Games match inside of Universe Mode. This was an 8-man matchup in which Brock Lesnar, Sheamus, and 2/3 of Imperium ended up picking up the victory. The Day 1 event was up next, and the Bloodline was sticking together. Roman Reigns was still carrying both titles, but he didn't defend it here. He instead decided to support the Usos, who had a tag team matchup against the Street Profit, and the Usos of course walked out with the victory. We go into the Royal Rumble, in which Roman Reigns is defending the WWE Championship against Edge. And just to clarify to you guys, you are not able to defend both titles in Universe Mode, so this is why we see Roman Reigns only defending one title at a time. At the Royal Rumble, Roman Reigns still walked out with the title, picking up the victory against Edge. Sorry that we don't have a lot of B-rolls right now. Time was of course limited as we were recording this first time in Universe Mode. As for who won the Royal Rumble, Becky Lynch picked up the victory in the Women's Rumble, and Bobby Lashley won the Men's Royal Rumble. Bobby on this game is a freak of nature. I was definitely rooting for him to potentially be the one to defeat Roman Reigns and take at least one title from him. Heading into the Elimination Chamber, it looks like Bobby Lashley picked up a win against Roman Reigns. Bobby Lashley victory celebration for his one-on-one match was brought to a crash after Roman Reigns' relentless attack. The champion upstaged his rival win by clubbing him from behind with his own title, adding insult to injury. At this point, I knew something was wrong because the next event was the Elimination Chamber, not WrestleMania. At this event, Bobby was already facing Roman Reigns, but it wasn't for the title and he ended up taking a loss. Now, rightfully so, the next event at WrestleMania should be the title match, right? Unfortunately, this didn't happen, which this was an issue in last year's game where the Rumble winner would get a title match on the pay-per-view before WrestleMania. So since this was an early build, hopefully this is just a bug. I did tell the developers about the issue. Hopefully this is something that gets patched because at WrestleMania we had a great match card, but as you guys can see, Bobby Lashley ended up taking on The Miz. We also had Sheamus versus Gunther, Ronda Rousey versus Shayna Baszler, and among other matches we had Brock Lesnar versus T-Bar in a Falls Count Anywhere. And as for the Tribal Chief, Roman Reigns did defend the WWE title against Kevin Owens. But for the main event, it was Rey Mysterio versus Cody Rhodes. I swear, only to me this actually happens. A one-year simulation, and Rey Mysterio versus Cody Rhodes is the main event, for no title on the line. This night, Cody Rhodes walked out with the victory, and Roman Reigns defended the WWE title successfully, meaning that for a full year, he was able to remain undisputed WWE Universal Champion. So in case you were wondering how powerful Roman Reigns is, now you definitely can see. But we were not done yet. We had to check out the Monday Night Raw after WrestleMania. And again, I cannot make this up, Rey Mysterio is starting up a feud with Dominic Mysterio. So I had to intensify their match even more. Intensity very high, and I had Rey Mysterio do a revenge attack against Dominic. Rey Mysterio rushed down Dominic Mysterio in the ring and unloads a bunch of punches to Dominic before the referee even rings the bell to their match. Rey Mysterio continued to apply the pressure, even delivering the 619 to Dominic, going old school on him, giving him the beatdown, but in the end, Dominic with a couple of finishers and then of course the 619 defeated Rey Mysterio. I was in pain, but the cool thing about it was that this was just the start of this rivalry. Now next week, I could just let it play it out and see where it goes, or I could keep picking different actions and book this rivalry however it is that I want to. So that was my first full year in Universe Mall. It was definitely an intense year. Unfortunately, Bobby Lashley got screwed over, but I did enjoy the brand new rivalry system. It reminds me of Create a Story, which I love. We have more incoming, and we already have a lot of WWE 2K23 challenges, so check out any of these and stay savage.